Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about the kettlebell rack step back lunge. This video is part of a big series of videos meant to be watched in order so that people can learn kettlebell technique on their own at home. So it follows a logical training progression. We start with deadlifts, we go to swings, we go to hand-to-hand swings, then we learn cleans and rack position, then we add some basic pressing. Then we go to our squats. Now we're gonna start introducing step back lunges. Step back lunges are taught after squats because they require foot movement and they put more stress on one leg at a time. By holding a kettlebell in the rack position, we encourage ourselves to have better overall lunge dynamics because holding the kettlebell in the rack position encourages athletes to have a more vertical spine and causes them to drive up out of their same side glute more effectively. It's a simple training trick, but it helps people improve their overall dynamics pretty quickly. This drill is going to lead into a series of Turkish get-up drills. And we teach Turkish get-up both from the top down and from the bottom up. That will make more sense further along in this series of videos, but this is the first step towards a get down. Step up to our kettlebell, 2 feet pointed straight ahead. You will notice this cue is the same in deadlifts. It is the same in swings. It is the same with cleans. It is the same with clean and press, and it's the same with squats. The same setup for every exercise because they will all eventually transition into each other. Pick up the kettlebell with good technique to our rack position. Elbow, wrist, pinky, all in one vertical line. Handle down at a 45-degree angle. No gap between our hand and the corner of the bell. Thumb at collarbone height. We are going to tap our leg. That is the leg we are going to step back with because that's the leg we will step back with in Turkish get-ups in future drills. Step all the way back, put your knee all the way down on the ground. We don't want to float here. I want you to lean back, drive this hip forward, squeeze the glute, feel a stretch in the front of this hip. Make your spine as vertical as possible, eyes out in the distance. Arms straight out to the side, drive up through the lead leg heel, stand all the way up. At the top, straighten your legs, fire your quads, squeeze your glutes. Step back, put your knee on the ground, lean back, drive the hip forward, stand all the way up, squeeze your glutes. Drive that rib cage down. Step back, lean back, drive the hip forward, drive all the way up. With this exercise, we are not going to float the rear leg, even though that would be harder. In the beginning, we want people to put the knee all the way down, lean back, and then figure out how to drive out of this heel from a dead start. By putting this knee down, we force ourselves to use the full range of movement of this lead loaded leg. Drive up through the heel, squeeze everything. When you finish your reps, set the weight down with good technique. Your feet should still be pointed straight ahead and repeat on the other side. Pick up the kettlebell, elbow at hip height, thumb at the level of your collarbone, arm out to the side, eyes straight ahead. Step back. People will find one leg will not want to step back as far as the other leg. Take this opportunity to balance it out. The goal is to not have this lead heel off the ground. Go back so far that that heel is flat on the ground. Drive up out of it. Straighten everything. Squeeze the glutes. Step back, knee on the ground. Get the weight in that lead leg heel. Drive up, squeeze the glutes. Step back, load the hip, drive up, squeeze the glutes. Put the kettlebell down with good technique. Feet are still pointed straight ahead, and you will end up in the same setup that you had for your squats, that you had for your clean and press, that you had for your swings. To me, this is probably the most important kettlebell lunge drill, and I think that this is probably one of the best lunge drills in all of training. Because you're holding that kettlebell up high, there's a penalty if you try to lean forward when you stand up. Many people in the beginning, when they're learning lunges, will try to rock forward to drive out of this leg. The kettlebell makes it really hard to do that. The further you lean forward, the heavier the kettlebell feels. So lean back, learn to make your spine vertical, and drive up with that straight vertical spine. This exercise is one of the few drills that will naturally over time encourage people to have better lunge dynamics just by repeating the drill. Holding the kettlebell in rack position and doing any type of lunge series will over time make your core work better, will make your hips work better, will stretch your hip flexors. That is the point of all kettlebell training, to convince athletes involuntarily to have better overall alignment so that they can learn to then transfer to other types of lifting later on.